Hello, my name is Aidan and welcome to another Golf Predictor video tutorial. In this video I shall be talking about one of the more advanced features on the site, namely the season segment stats. These season segment stats allow you to see the performance of each golfer in the current season and in the previous 5 seasons combined, broken down by the time of year. So the GP season is broken up into 3 segments, from January to April, from May to August, and from September to December. So all the results are broken down for each segment, and you get the average and number of top 10s, wins, missed cuts, and so on in each segment. This information is really useful when you're deciding on golfers for your fantasy golf team, your DFS roster, or for your betting needs. So without further ado, let's go to the pages of interest and see exactly how they work. To do that, you go to the form menu, go past the first divider and click on early, mid, late overall season link. And if you do that, you'll be brought to the following page, which as usual I have preloaded on another tab. On this page you have a drop down list which allows you to select the segment of interest. This defaults to early season as you see on the screen. But if you click on the arrow, you see you can choose between early, mid or late season, and you can also pick overall. That means the entire season regardless of the time of year. So looking at the data table, as usual we have the golfer name and then some stats in columns. As usual, the columns are all sortable. So you can click on the columns to see, for example, who has the least or most least cuts, top 10s, wins, tournament plays, and voids, which are non-finishes or non-starts. Again, there's a key at the bottom of the table. As usual, if you hover over the golfer first name, you see their more information. In this case, their rank overall, which means without taking the season segment into account, if you analyze their results over the previous 5 years plus the current season, this will be their rank. So I see Rory McIlroy is ranked 3rd overall, but 1st in the early season segment. Okay, so there's various charts you can look at over there as usual. Again, you can see who has the most wins, most top 10s, or the least missed cuts. So we just click on, say, the least missed cuts. So this shows you graphically who is least missed cuts in the early season, i.e. from January to April, and hovering over a bar it shows more information, as is usually the case. So you see that Steve Stricker has only missed 1 cut in the early season from 35 tournaments that were analysed. That's pretty impressive from Stricker. Okay, so we'll just go back to the previous page again. So if we look now at the overall season stats, that's the last option in the drop down list there at the top of the page. Unfortunately, due to the limitations of the screen capturing software, you cannot see the drop down list options, but rest assured I'm selecting the final option. There you see it. So wait for the page to reload, and we see that overall Matt Kuchar has the best performance in the last 5 seasons before this season, and including this season. He's got an average of 22.87 from 142 tournaments. If you hover over the first name of the golfer, in this case you see his rank in the other segments, such as early, mid and late. So again, at a glance you can see in the segment of interest the average result, standard deviation, which is a measure of how consistent the golfer has been, with the smaller number being better, the number of tournaments played, wins, top 10s, and so on. Okay, so that's the season segment information by itself, but what can you do if you want to compare, say, Matt Kuchar's early season form to his mid-season form to his late season form, for example? Well, to do that, you go back up to the form menu and select the other option in this mini subsection on the menu. So just click on season segment overview. And if you do that, you will be brought to the following page, which I have also preloaded on another tab. On this page you can see a variety of very useful information at a glance. For example, you can see for each golfer, you can see their average and their rank in each of the season segments. So for example, for Matt Kuchar, as we mentioned a minute ago, again hovering over a name in this case gives the number of tournaments that the golfer has played in each of the segments. For example, you see there that Kuchar has played 142 tournaments overall, of which 62 were in the early season, another 62 were in mid-season, and 18 were in the late season. So looking at the data, you can see, for example, that he's ranked 1 overall, and these columns have been color coded for your convenience. So red is the rank column, while black is the average column. So looking across the row there for Matt Kuchar, you can see that he's ranked very highly for early season, rank 2, and for mid-season, but not a bit worse in late season. So looking down the list there, you can see some interesting anomalies. For example, you see that Hideki Matsuyama should be avoided for early season tournaments because he's pretty bad compared to his form in the rest of the season. For example, he's got the best average in the mid-season. Also, you see that Dustin Johnson similarly should be avoided for tournaments after August because he tends to go on holidays a bit early. And for example, if you look a bit further down the line, you see that in the early season people, you see that Martin Keimer's got a pretty bad record in early season, but he picks up in mid-season and tapers off slightly again in the late season. So you can see at a glance which golfers perform better in which part of the season, and this can be very important for picking your fantasy golfers, your DFS golfers, or your betting picks for the week. So I would encourage you very much to look at this advanced statistics very closely when you're picking your team. It could be the difference between winning and losing. There's also some more charts on this page which are similar to the charts we saw before. You can see who is the best in each segment. You can also do this by sorting each column. I should have given an honorable mention to Sergio Garcia. If you look at his ranks for each of the season segments, you see he's 4th overall, and he's remarkably consistent from one end of the year to the other. He's 5th in early season, he's ranked 7th in mid-season, and 6th in late season. So he is the most consistent of all the golfers at the higher end of the table at any rate. Okay, to finish this tutorial, we'll just look at the kind of advanced information that is available for each golfer from a season segment point of view. And to do that, you can just click on the golfer of interest. So we'll just click on Matt Kuchar because we've been talking about him. So we get the season segment data page for the golfer. Again, there's a wide variety of stats available here. There are panels for overall, early season, mid and late season, which gives you all the different stats that you could possibly need, such as the golfer rank, how many tournaments they played, what the best and worst finishes were, how many wins, top tens, missed cuts, and non-finishes. And underneath these, you can see the list of tournaments that match the season segments. So you see all the early season tournaments, all the mid and all the late ones separately, and then you see all the results together. So as we saw before, Kuchar has played 142 tournaments in total in the last 5 seasons and this season, so there are the last 6 seasons in total so far. And as we said before, he had 18 played in late season events and 62 in each of the other 2 sections. So you see all the tournament results that we're using for the analysis here that you can browse through. Note that you must be subscribed to Golf Picture to see these results tables. There's also a stack chart here, if we click on that. So for Matt Kuchar, you see his overall and then his early, mid and late season performance graphically. We're hovering over a segment as usual, gives you more information. So it tells you that he has 50 other top 10s. So he's got 50 other top 10s from 142 events and 5 wins. So he's got 5 wins and 50 other top 10s. And then yellow is he's finished the event, so he hasn't missed the cut, but he hasn't been in the top 10 either. And red is missed cuts. and green are non-finishes. So at a glance you can see Matt Kuchar's performance in each of the season segments and overall. So that can be quite useful too. So to finish, we'll just go back to the previous page. And just to mention that only subscribers can see the information for every golfer. If you are not subscribed to Golf Predictor, you will be limited to those golfers that are ranked overall from 26 to 40. So please consider subscribing to Golf Predictor to get the full benefit of these very interesting and important advanced statistics. Okay, well that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.